Good day, everyone. Today, we're talking about disaster resilience. When you hear the word disaster resilience, what comes to your mind? For many of us, especially here in the Philippines, it is not just a concept, it's a live reality. Every year, our country faces typhoons, floods, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions. According to the World Risk Index, our country has consistently among the top three most disaster-prone countries in the world. And in just these past few months, we experienced the devastations of earthquakes and typhoons that forced to suspend all the classes not just in some part in Visayas, but also here in Misamis Oriental. But the question is, how do these disasters truly impact students and in our communities? And most importantly, how do we build resilience? Today, we're going to talk about why disaster resilience is not just a national priority but also a personal responsibility. Climate risks are increasing and students are among of the most affected. According to the UNICEF Climate Risk Index, half of the world's children that lives in areas that highly exposed to hazards climate in the Philippines, that number are even higher. Think about this. Every typhoon hits, classes are suspended, classrooms become evacuation center, and thousands of students were lost days or even months of learning. According to the Department of Education, more than 22,000 classrooms were damaged by the recent typhoons in the past decade. This doesn't just interrupt learning, it affects mental health, stability, and hope for the future. Climate risks are not distant, they are directly shaping the students' learning experience and emotional well-being.
Communities carries the weight of every disaster. Disasters don't just damage infrastructure, they damage livelihoods, routines, and every sense of security. According to the National Disaster Reduction and Management Council or NDRMC, annual losses from a disaster in the Philippines reach a billion pesos. These losses affects family, farmers who lost crops, families who lost homes, workers who lost daily income, and local government who struggle to rebuild. Communities become caught in a cycle, disaster, recovery, and disaster again. But despite of hardship, Filipino community shows sometimes powerful resilience rooted in bayanihan, solidarity, and adaptability. And the education is the one of best tools of building disaster resilience. According to UNESCO, disaster education significantly increase of a community chance of survival and faster recovery. When the students learn about early warning system, emergency kits, evaluation routines, and evaluational protection, like climate science, then they become active in protectors of families and communities. Every prepared students become a prepared household. Every prepared household become a resilient and community. This is why integrating climate literacy and disaster preparedness is in school curriculum is not optional, it is essential.
A resilient future isn't just about how we respond to disasters, but it's about what we do before they strike. And that responsibility doesn't fall on one sector or one group, but it belongs to all of us. In our communities, resilience can start with simple but powerful actions, like making sure our infrastructures are sturdy, keeping our waterways clean, and practicing regular drills so that preparedness becomes a second nature. And even supporting local environmental policies, no matter how small they seem, it will still create a long term impact. And students also play an equally vital role for this. You don't need to be a scientist or to be a policymaker to make a difference. You can volunteer in barangay disaster teams, join environmental clubs, help spread early warnings online, or simply just start conversations about sustainability with your peers. Like small actions like this multiply when many people choose to act. And according to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, community-based action is one of the most effective ways to reduce loss and damage. That means that real resilience begins with informed youth and empowered communities. So now, we stand at the crossroads of climate change and increasing disasters. Let's remember this. Resilience isn't the absence of danger, but it is the presence of preparation, knowledge, and unity. That's it. Thank you.